Hey, how are we doing out there, cyberspace? Today, we're going to be talking about anchoring. And this anchor in particular is a plow anchor. We're going to focus on the plow anchor today. Some of you might be familiar with it if you have a Boston Whaler with a windlass, a Cobalt with a windlass, or if we've added a windlass to your Sea Hunt or Nautic Star, or even like the 28XS comes standard with a plow anchor windlass. Regardless, this is a plow anchor windlass. And we're going to show you how to deploy it a little bit better today. Some of the things we're finding when we're talking to our customers are they're having a hard time to get their anchor to catch. And one of the most common things that I've come across when people are having a hard time getting their anchor to catch is they're not putting enough scope out on the line or the anchor row. So the name of the game here is to get this plow anchor to plow. You got this big plow up front here, and what you're doing is you're getting this part of the anchor right here to grab into the sand, mud, dirt, or what have you. So if you don't have enough row out, what's going to happen is the angle in which your chain and your line is going to be higher. So when it's dragging, it's not necessarily dragging this plow part. So what you need to do is you need to get this angle of line to be lower, about here. So when you're dragging the anchor, it's dragging that plow and doing what it's designed to do. So you need to get more line out of the boat to get this angle better. If you don't have enough line out of the boat, this angle is going to be doing this number. And obviously this is our end goal, to get it to catch. Even if you have too much out, if it falls to one side, it's still going to drag. So that's what you want to do when you're deploying your anchor. Also, you want to keep in mind when you're deploying that anchor, you want your boat in reverse so that it's slowly dragging. Or even if it's deploying to the bottom, you want it to be out on an angle a little bit so that it's not going to get into your props or get under the boat or get swirled around. So you want to keep the boat in gear in reverse. You don't need to give it any throttle. Just make sure you're in gear in reverse. Another thing, so if you're anchoring at a known spot where your anchor might get stuck, or people have lost anchors, or maybe you've had experience where your anchor just caught too tight and you've lost your anchor there a time or two, and as you know, this is not a cheap anchor. So I got a little trick for you. On these plow anchors, I don't know if you can see in the video, but right here there's a secondary hole. If you've ever wondered what that hole's for, what you can do is you take your shackle and your chain, bring it to the front up here, and attach it. If I can do two things at once here. You can screw it up here, and then what you do is you take a good sturdy zip tie, and you zip tie it back here, so that you can still obviously get your scope out there, so when it catches, it finally catches, and then when it's time, obviously you're fishing and your anchor's caught, it's doing what it needs to do, and then when it's time to bring your anchor up, you got your limit on walleye, your limit of perch, it's time to come up. The zip tie breaks because it's the force of this anchor, and then when you bring it up, it releases at a different angle. So when you're releasing at that different angle, it's a more aggressive pull on the bottom. Also, because of the leverage, you're pulling straight on the weight instead of bringing it here. When you're pulling it from back here, it's prying all, whatever you got, maybe it's a rock or what have you, it's pulling all down here. So when you're pulling from up here, it releases and releases much easier. So that's your tip of the day. Name of the game, get more scopes, you have a better angle. Try this trick. One thing I'll caution you when you try this trick, if you have a windlass, when you're bringing this anchor back up, obviously it's coming up at a different angle, so you don't want to bring it all the way up into your roller or your bow eye, because you'll do damage to your hull. So be smart about it, be cautious. And that's it for the day. Hope you guys are doing well. Check me out on Facebook, Boating with Bart. Don't forget to like me on Facebook. Thanks guys, I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you on the water.